Hey guys, this will be a review of Heatwave by The Music, uh, a contender for a finalist for the TeamLiquid Map Contest 12 macro category. And to begin, full disclosure, I'm not the biggest fan at all of this map. Not because it isn't a very well made, set up, but I'm not fond of the fact that it isn't strongly macro-ish. Besides the size, I'm not sure if there is any fact that makes this map macro over standard, and that is something that I'm not particularly fond of. Going forward, I will really recommend map makers to more clearly outline the reasons why a map is in the category it is in their when they write the descriptions, because in this situation I'm not a fan of it, but it is still very solid, and from then on we can begin the review. At the back of the the very first thing to mention, of course, is there we go, is that from now onwards, as I was been saying for a huge amount of other maps, we will probably need to cut off the very corners wherever we use a brute war based styled square cliffing, in order to avoid Terrans players from getting their units stuck in there, especially wherever they build turrets and the UCB pops up right in the corner and gets stuck forever unless the Terran gets a medivac to carry it to freedom. When it comes to the back of the mineral line, it has a fair amount of space, so that's obviously good in order to avoid cannon rushes. One thing that I have been seeing a huge amount in finalists is doing these kinds of corners around the natural bases, but this causes the problem that it is a problem with cannon rushes. It is just prime territory for cannon rushes. Then you can just place a cannon and your probe will just pop off here and you can continue building cannons. So that's a problem. Don't do that. Do what Music did, like that. That is far less of a risk. When it comes to the third base, beautiful position. The only thing, as I was saying in the beginning of the review, would be that this rock is what makes the map a macro map. Standard, macro, and so on. Still, it is a very safe third with the rock. Without it, it is more risky. But a safe third with a fairly a fair amount of distance, it is still between the standard-ish ranges, but it is slightly longer. The biggest concern that I might have with the map itself is the fact that there are no big open areas in the center besides, for example, this or maybe this. That is not much of a problem really, because the map is so big, so there will always be other positions where you can retreat and get a choke point between you and your opponent, and you can try to hold that position and then force your opponent to maneuver. So that is not the end of the world or anything. Wherever I'm giving feedback to other people and I am mentioning that is overall too crowded, this map could be a very good counterexample in order to tell me that I am wrong. But at least in this case, the size of it counteracts against the overall chokiness of it. This side in specific also, it is not too. I'm not too fond of it. It isn't particularly useful, if I say so myself. Something I feel even something like this might be more efficient with the use of space. Right? I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. Or well, I am. But let me see if I can like reposition. I shouldn't be like reposition all of this stuff because this isn't like solid absolute rock. What is going on? What? Okay, anyhow. Something like that. I'm not sure, guys. It really is up in the air. It is up to music, to what you'd want to do with this. I have so much fun painting things. I think this is your setup. I started just texturing. Okay. Okay. Maybe? No, it is far too open. You know what this needs? You know what this needs? This needs some fucking rocks. Like that. Do you see? This set of rocks, they fix everything. They always fix everything. So it's... if you have like a map, you just add this set of rocks and that's it. It is now like a finalist. Ta-da! Do you see? Now it's a finalist. Or you can make it even more. You could like add 2 rocks in here, so it is like an escalonated area, like almost superhuman-like, with the bridges and whatnot. But the bridges are the rocks, so that's something the players wouldn't expect. PogChamp. Well, anyhow, let me digress. Let me undo everything. Hopefully, I haven't like undoed. Yep, there we go. What happened here? Okay, there it is. When it comes to this, there is this area that is like very awkward, but it's still like fine. This is still like acceptable. I don't like it, but it's acceptable. Maybe I don't want to like take all of the time doing this. Maybe something like that. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because you have this attack path. No, it might reinforce too much this attack path into the third. But also it makes the fourth more easier to take, right? Decisions. It's up to you, music. Whatever you want to do with this. Oh, also, as I've been saying in other videos, you need to expand the canvas in order to avoid the problems with like casters zooming out in WCS casts, like something like this. It looks buggy, so avoid it. So expand the canvas. The unplayable canvas, of course. The unplayable canvas. The Selnagas are well positioned for a standard map. What else? No, I think that's basically it. Like, of all of the macro maps, I would say this probably was the weakest because this wasn't a macro map, this was a standard map. But that aside, it's still like everybody will say that it's like a solid map. If albeit like slightly boring because of the center, but that's still like fine. One bug that the reason why I'm focusing in this area is because of this. As you can see, let me see if I can hide the cliff. As you can see, oops. Well, anyhow, as you can see, well, I can't highlight. Oh yeah, I know I can. As you can see, this section is not pathable for Reapers. So what I will recommend is to maybe add a small set of cliffs in here, something like that, and just add like some doodads there at the bottom, just like this. Oops. Just like that. And that way you fix the problem with the cliff, as you can see. Ta-da! Because in the path in the past, the Reapers will need to jump around only around this section, and then that's it just looks buggy. that's it. That's it. Maybe without that it looks like cleaner, but the gameplay is like slightly more buggy. Also, good job with the lights and the decals. So that's it. I think that's it. Like it's a solid map. It's a solid map. I think it's worth the. It would have been worth a finalist spot in the standard category, but here we have it in macro. I'm going ham on it. But yeah, anyhow, guys, that's it. It's a solid map. I approve. Specifically this. Copy this. Everybody, do this. And a problem with the texturing. Anyhow, that's it, guys. This was the review for Heatwave by the music for the macro category of the TeamLiquid map contest 12 finalists. Take care and see you in the other map reviews.